Hi, Lupita. Thank you for coming in today. I was reviewing your intake form and I see that you were referred from the ER. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you've been referred from the ER. Was that something you initiated or did they give you the referral yourself? Or did you ask for the referral?
Um, I asked for the referral um just because I thought it was best for me.
Yeah. Well, that's something we'll continue to explore through this process. We're going to first kind of introduce ourselves, get acclimated. That way you know who you're working with, all right? So I'm Hillary, and I'm going to be your caseworker here at the Center for Intimate Partner Violence. I'm a bachelor's social worker, and I'll be under the supervision of Stacy Stokes during the duration of this process. Were you able to find us okay?
Yes, I was.
Okay, did you want a coffee, water, anything like that before we get started?
I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to tell you some of the services we offer here before we get started. So we cover basic needs such as bus passes, clothing, food. We help people sign up for insurance and food stamps. And we also offer, because of the nature of people's situations, we do offer emergency women and children shelter. We also offer emergency hotel vouchers and we offer bus passes. And then on the social support side, we do offer groups for people who are in domestic violence relationships or for people who've experienced loss. And then we also offer support groups for people exiting domestic violence relationships. And then lastly, we do offer legal help. So as far as getting protective orders, restraining orders, anything that might come up requiring legal aid, as we understand that process can be very challenging. Do you have any questions about those services?
I'm guessing mainly the hotel services. That's a big question of mine, just because um I do want to make sure my 5 children and I are safe, and sometimes I don't really feel safe in my home with my husband.
Absolutely. So that sounds like it's going to be one of the primary needs we'll need to explore getting you is one of those hotel vouchers for you and your 5 kids. It sounds like family is very important to you.
Yes, it is.
Great. Well, let's get to know you a little more. What are some things you do in your free time? Or if you were to have free time, what are some things you do?
I like to take my kids to the park. Um, I also like to go to church, so I interact with some of the other ladies in the church and just help the local church I go to. I'm really big on religion, so that's a big part of my life. And sometimes I like to go on walks by myself if I have the time just to decompress.
Absolutely. How often are you able to attend church?
I might go every week.
Awesome. And you mentioned that there are some ladies there that you talk to. Are they ever watching your kids or babysitting for you?
Not as much because they're just as busy, but sometimes we'll do group play dates or stuff like that, just so then um we can enjoy sometimes and the kids can do their own thing in a sense.
Yeah. And are they so you go to a Catholic church, is that correct?
Yes.
And do you find that it's a good way to maintain your culture and maintain your cultural ties?
Yes, it's a really good way. I really like the ladies there and the church is really well. So it's something that I enjoy going to. So I definitely do feel more connected.
Great. Yeah, that's definitely something we'll incorporate through this process to make sure that with respect to your culture and religion, we're kind of keeping that and not doing anything out of your comfort zone, okay?
Okay.
Before we circle back to some of that, I wanted to explain to you just what to expect during this first session and in the like helping process throughout our time working together. Does that sound okay to you?
Yes.
Great. So first, this first session usually is a little overwhelming. So we're just getting acclimated, doing introductions. We're kind of seeing what is it that you want to work on and how can I best support you. The purpose of this is we're going to work together collaboratively. I'm not going to tell you what to do. We're really going to take your lead. You are the guide and I'm here to support you. Does that sound okay?
Yes, it does.
Perfect. So kind of what to expect throughout our duration of working together is kind of the first stage is exploring the problem, exploring what resources might be helpful, getting acclimated, building that trust up so that, you can turn to me and we can kind of work together during this. Then the next part is we're going to start to identify barriers. We're going to start to work on those goals. We're going to maybe rework some of the goals as challenges come up. This will be collaborative the entire time. Nothing is set in stone, and we'll just continue working on those goals. And then this is going to be months down the line, but whenever, you're feeling good about your goals, the last stage of this process is setting you up for success for when we end our work together. So there's no rush or timeline on that, but whenever we end our services together, we'll make sure that you're prepared and you're ready to continue on without me. How does that sound?
That sounds really good.
Cool. And did you have any questions about that before I continue?
I'm just wondering, what my information stay private? I'm really nervous that the church is going to find out about me reaching out to others. It's just something really frowned upon in the Catholic Church, and it's a big fear of mine.
Yeah. What is it that's frowned upon? The seeking outside help outside of the church, or
That, or even if they found out about my husband, it's just divorce is really frowned upon in the Catholic Church, and I don't want them to know that that's what I'm trying to do, or just trying to escape my relationship is something I'm really nervous that they will find out about.
Absolutely. So this is the perfect question. So everything here, everything that's said here stays here. Everything is confidential. The only person I will talk to is my supervisor. And when I talk to her, I will, make sure your information's confidential. I'll remove your name. And I really just talk to her to make sure that I'm providing you with the best assistance possible. So I'll talk about the nature of your situation, but not, the dirty details per se. Okay.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That sounds good. Thank you.
Great. And then so that also leads me into, there are two like big exceptions to confidentiality, and I'll kind of explain that. So reports of abuse, neglect, or exploitation of an elderly person, disabled person, or a child does require me to report to the Department of Family Protective Services. So before that would happen, I would make sure that you know that that's happening, and I'll report the least amount of details that are required to make that report, as I'm a mandated reporter, so I am required to do that. And then in situations where you are reporting suicide or homicide with intent and plan, I do have to, like on a case-by-case basis, call in for extra support. Now, sometimes that support is just making sure you're safe at home and calling a safe family member. I know for your situation that, you might not have a safe family member. So in that case, I might call a psychiatrist or someone who specializes in mental health. And so how does that sound to you? Do you have any questions about that?
It all sounds great.
Cool. Thank you. And so lastly, so we're kind of ending our session today, and I wanted to make sure that, you understand that we're not going to call you on your home cell phone. We're not going to send you emails due to, the nature of your situation. Okay. But what we will do is we'll provide you with a hotel voucher today. That way you can have a safe place to stay until your next session. And, what are some times that you would like to schedule for your next session?
I'm worried about the phone, so if we can schedule it now, just so no one will contact us. I'm just scared that he'll answer, and get angry, but I can do every Tuesday around like noon, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll schedule you for Tuesdays at noon. And, with all of this being said, do I have your consent to continue working together in this helping process?
Yes, yes, of course.
Cool. Well, thank you, Lupita, and I will be seeing you next Tuesday.
Thank you.